Sorry about that, my delicious little babies. Now, I thought I'd save me flipping on pause, my delicious little babies. Anyway, it never happened that way. So I've uploaded my first video, okay, which is to do with eye colour, earlobes, and I was talking about why they demolished every hospital built before 1900, my delicious little babies, okay? And I hope that wherever you are, that life is treating you most deliciously and that you've got beautiful, super duper weather, okay? Anyway, my delicious little babies, so, yeah. So what's this about? So these buildings were absolutely colossal, okay, my delicious little babies, before the 1900, okay? And they also used to have bells, ding, ding, dong, dong, like that, my delicious little babies, anyway. Now, it appears that in earlier history that these, because I've talked about bells many times, but it appears that in earlier history that these bells actually help. Sorry, I've got to switch my lights on. My delicious babies, there we are, they're on. Okay, I'll repeat that again. Lots of lights, okay. Well, yeah, you see, bells helped mankind, bless them, with illnesses. Now, according to this video that I was listening to, Lost Origins, okay, on YouTube, because they're all on YouTube, the videos that I'm advertising, my delicious babies. Well, it appears that, what did they do? Did they say that they melted the bells down? Okay. Now, if this is what I'm just done saying, my delicious babies, if bells were not some sort of a threat to, to whom it may concern, my delicious babies, well, why? Would they want to get rid of them all? And of course, why would you want to demolish beautiful buildings and architecture? Do you see what I mean, my delicious babies? And then, of course, turn them into all of these epoxy glass, which, by the way, at one time, hospitals could have windows open, couldn't they, my delicious babies? Then they went through the stage where, no, you couldn't have any windows open. You used to be able to have flowers, bring flowers to somebody if you were visiting a hospital. So they stopped all that, anything to make you feel happy, my delicious babies, okay? And they wanted all of the windows closed, my delicious little babies, do you know what I mean? Of course, it's for your health, of course, you know what I mean, my delicious little babies. So, yeah. So, these type of videos also I find very interesting, because what I was talking about in my first video was to do with, happens to be my colour ours, which is hazel, which is not as common. They're not a common colour, if you know what I mean, my delicious babies. And I was also talking about earlobes, where I'm just fascinated, you know what I mean, like how we've all been made. It's beautiful, isn't it, my delicious babies? We've got a little bit from here and a little bit from there. I just think it's wonderful. Anyway, my delicious babies. So, but that was just to break it all up. But yes, very interesting video. Tartaria vault. That's what it's called, my delicious babies, that I was talking about in my previous video today, which is uploading. Which, of course, we do not know how YouTube is feeling today. They might, upload my video super duper quickly. Then again, it could take super duper hours, which that is usually the case, my delicious babies. Now then. So the next one, my delicious babies. Now, and of course, these, for these videos, okay, these are not videos which would come up on my feed. These are videos that I've got to fish for, okay, my delicious babies. But because I'm interested in the Tartaria and everything like this now, then they will come up on my feed. But I do not feel that they originally came up on my feed. But this one here, my delicious babies. Now then, I'm wondering what your thoughts are about this, my delicious babies, because this was uploaded 2 years ago. I cannot see anywhere. That's what I say. Sometimes I cannot. Sometimes I can see when somebody's joined YouTube, and sometimes I cannot see. So sometimes I can, and sometimes I cannot. Now on this one I cannot. But this video was uploaded 2 years ago. It has 1 subscriber, and it's called, there's like Chinese, to like lots of Chinese, like one here, and then it says the uploader's called, all in capital writing, my delicious babies, movie space paradise. Okay, my delicious babies, that's what it's called. Movie space paradise, that's the uploader. It's quite odd, isn't it? 1 subscriber and 1 video. There's only ever 1 video. So it's 1 video that I'm going to mention now with 1 subscriber, and I cannot see, when they joined, but this was 2 years ago. Odd, isn't it? First time I've ever come across this. So what is this called, my delicious babies? And it's only about nearly 5 minutes long. Yeah, it's only nearly 5 minutes long, my delicious babies, I think, or is it just over 5 minutes long? It's called the Movie Database. That's what it's called, my delicious babies. The Movie Database. It's just really, and I thought, shall I just ignore it or shall I mention it? And I just thought, no, I'm going to mention it. Okay. If you can father out and work out what's going on in it, in this very shorty video. Okay, my delicious babies. Now, the next one, my delicious babies, this upload happens to have 28,000 subscribers, my delicious babies, and this one is called capital D, the rest in little writing, data, space, and these are in numbers now, 184. So that's the uploader, my delicious babies, data, space, 184 in numbers. Okay, my delicious babies, okay? Now, this video is exactly 9 minutes long. Okay, my delicious babies, and it is called the 1587 map that shouldn't exist. 25 anomalies. Wow, that's a larger word, isn't it? My delicious babies, I feel like I swallowed a dictionary. Mind you, I suppose there's some words where you have about 60 or 70 flipping letters in it, don't you, my delicious babies? Right, anomalies. Found mythical creatures, Bano, Monty world map. Okay, my delicious babies. So I'm not talking to anybody out there who already knows about this map. I'm talking to our delicious babies who may not know. I'll just repeat it again for you. The 1587 map that shouldn't exist. 25 anomalies found, mythical creatures, Bano, Monty world map. Okay, my delicious babies. So, yeah, it's very interesting. So I'm nearly at the end of that video, my delicious babies. And, yeah, it's all very interesting, isn't it? You know what I mean? And it's even more interesting, of course, with anybody not in that way, apart from one, of course, okay? It's always interesting as well with different uploaders, okay? And the videos that they bang out, you know what I mean? It's all very fascinating, isn't it, my delicious babies, okay? And sometimes it's, videos that you wouldn't spare a thought of, of even looking at, you know what I mean? But again, that never came up on my feed, my delicious babies. These are little videos that I've had to fish for, do you know what I mean, my delicious babies, yes. Now, the final one for today, my delicious babies, and I don't know what your thoughts are going to be. I know what my thoughts are, my delicious babies, but I'm not sure what your thoughts will be, okay? I've got a pretty good idea what your thoughts would be. Okay, my delicious babies, because I'll tell you my thoughts afterwards. So, This uploader happens to have 1.06 million subscribers, my delish look babies, and this one is called capital F Farron, which is spelled F-A, that's in little writing, the other bit, Farron. Okay, my delish look babies, so it's called Farron, spaced, capital B, the rest in little writing, balanced. That's the uploader, Farron, space, balanced. Okay, my delish look babies. This video is 4 minutes something seconds long, my delish look babies, okay? And the video should read, millionaire, I think he was 75, wasn't he? Yeah, that number, 7 and 5. So that comes to 12, doesn't it, my delish baby? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You see the number there. Okay, my delish babies. Millionaire, trophy hunter, trampled to death by elephants. I do believe was a 5. I think I heard the number 5. Mumble number 5. Okay, but it's not a song. Okay, my delish babies just came into my noddle. So I'll just repeat this again for you, shall I? Millionaire, trophy hunter, trampled to death. That doesn't mean no, by elephants. Yes, my delish babies. So what did this trophy hunter do? Did he go out each year or something? And it seems to myself that one of his hobbies was murdering, killing, because that's what it's called, my delish babies. I'm not going to be like everybody else who calls it unaliving. Okay, what it is, it's murderers. Na 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 na. Yeah. So this piece of shit, and I couldn't give a damn that he's croaked it. Flipping good riddance to bad shit, in my opinion. My delish babies, okay? And I do not class that as swearing. Usually I say shat. But no, not on this occasion. He's a piece of shit, man. And he deserves to have his grave danced upon. Somebody get the biggest ghetto blaster and dance on the piece of shit's grave. This is a millionaire, my delish babes. And I'll tell you what he's done, shall I? Okay? What he did is, as one of his pastimes, you know, or hobby, some do have strange hobbies, it seems, my delish babies, to go out and kill lions or elephants. And of course, you know, he took the trophies. So this wasn't about eating these beautiful animals, which should never be touched at all, okay? Well, any animal, a creature's great and small, none of them should be touched or harmed that way, okay? Or little and large birdies or anything, okay? But this one then kept the trophies from killing these poor innocent animals in his home. But it turned out that on this particular occasion, so if this is true, because I do not know if it's true, I listened to it on this channel, my delish babes, okay? Well, if this is true, well, those beautiful dear elephants, bless them, I never needed to stumble there. These beautiful dear elephants, you know, they were only looking after their own, wasn't they? And I do believe, was there a little baby elephant there? So that obviously they were protecting the baby elephant. So they're only doing, and I'm not inciting anything, my delish babies, but they're only looking after theirs like we would look after ours. Do you see what I mean, my delish babies? That's all that those babies were doing, our beautiful elephants. So if this is true, he deserves every damn thing he got. He got what the duck gave him. Because if you can do that, what, because you're a millionaire? Because that piece of shit is a millionaire? And he think now then that his own shit doesn't stink? But we've seen it in history, haven't we, Mardlichtig babies? Like the fake royal effing family, man. Beautiful tigers and everything. So is that the kind of thing now that goes on when you got a lot of ka-ching, 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 ka-ching? It seems. So they're not happy with building pathetic excuses of buildings or homes or whatever. Mardlichtig babies. They're not happy with that. It's like you see a lot of these fake royals and everything like that now then, like in our old England, Mardlichtig babies, you know, where they just shoot little birdies out the sky. But because they're loaded, because they're minted. So it gives them the right to do these things. They're dirty, filthy, evil, no good bees. There we are. That is what they are. And they're all lower than a snake's belly, and you cannot get lower than that, isn't it? So that man there, okay, if this is true, yeah, I hope he really suffered. There we are. I hope the man suffered. That he's crushed to death. Because he's wicked and evil clearly lived, isn't it? And still, apparently, listening to this video, Mardlichtig babies, his friends, yeah, always have lots of friends when you got ka-ching, isn't it? Lots of friends, yes. They were sticking up for this piece of shit. Like it's perfectly acceptable to travel to Africa and to go and do this nasty, dirty business now. Now, as regards to Ivory, Mardlichtig babies, because I remember, was it years and years and years ago, that this was actually illegal to do that. Oh, so because you're a millionaire, so that makes it legal for his damn self. He got what the duck gave him. And I hope that he would have got more. And if I was stood there, which I wouldn't be, but if I was stood there, I would have flipping laughed with glee. And if anybody thinks that I'm a bitch, well, think I'm a bitch. But for myself, you do not do this to beautiful dear animals for your own fun. Make me damn rent sick, man. And this is a mentality. What has any of those animals ever done to that piece of shit? Nothing at all. All they wanted to do is just live out their life, isn't it? Just like you and I. See, we're having everything done to ourselves, Mardlichtig babies, okay? But it's been going on for decades, isn't it? Except for they just do it a different way. There we are. Okay, Mardlichtig babies, but it's a culling. Nevertheless. But bless those beautiful dear elephants. They are. Bless their beautiful dear souls. Each and every one of them. And for protecting the baby. So, it appears you got another piece of shit off the planet. Good. I'm highly delighted. And anybody else who decides to do anything like this, there we are. Okay? They too should get what the duck gives them as well. Okay, now, very lastly, Mardlichtig babies, that's everything today, isn't it, Mardlichtig babies, okay? So, what is it that I just want to say just before I go? Yeah, just going to make sure everything's ticked off, you know, to do the hospitals and that as well. Well, I heard that a beautiful little baby, you know, not in that way, clearly, a beautiful little baby now, it's only 3-year-old, caught shingles. Okay, Mardlichtig babies, so please, if somebody can answer me. How would a little 3-year-old little baby now get shingles? Now, usually you hear about that in the older generation, when they get older, sorry. And anyway, nobody should ever have to suffer anything like this. But I mean, I knew, a small number over my decades who are elderly, and they said it's terrible if you get shingles. They said they're in such a lot of pain. So, and who I spoke to, bless, okay? Um, Others were asking, there we are, the same question. How can a beautiful little baby now, who's 3 year old, get shingles? Okay, Martin, baby, so, I'm pretty sure we know the answer. You know what I mean? Martin, baby, there we are, yes. Okay? So I was not happy to hear about that. I was not happy at all to hear about that, at all. And anyway, little baby now then, she should be, she's a little she, bless her. Beautiful little baby, bless, beautiful little family. Well, she should be, feeling, better in a week. Bless. But can you see, Martin, little babies, okay? Little bairns shouldn't be, like I had chicken spots, I call them chicken spots, and I have measles and I have German measles. Well, I mean, at the end of the day, Martin, little babies, so how did I get those then? I mean, could I, because I cannot ask anybody, because I love my beautiful Mammy Bear, so she's not here to for me to speak to, very sadly, for me to ask that question. I do not talk to my dear dad, so I do not know about that either, okay? Whether he would even remember. I mean, it is 52 years ago, isn't it, Martin? Babies, and by the way, I'm still young, I'm not old. Despite what these want everybody to believe, if you get to 65, you're lucky. Do you know what I mean? They can F off nicely, get on the bike and pedal fast. Couldn't give fiddlers F. The silly damn nonsense now that these pieces of shark come out with. Do you know what I mean? My delicious little babies, yes. But how do I know that I wasn't injected? You see what I mean, my delicious little babies? Because how would I get all of these things? I had the mumps as well, I had the bumps. And not only that, my delicious little babies, but, and I'll just be done saying it. I mean, you see my beautiful, how I love my beautiful nanny and granddad so, she was dead against any anything to be injected inside of somebody. Because my dear dad and his sister, none of them were injected ever. She refused. My beautiful little Nana Bear, my beautiful dear little granddad Bear, they refused. Point blank. To have the babies injected. But for myself, I only have to look at a swimming pool. I mean, I used to do a lot of swimming. My little babies, a lot of swimming, and I used to do, because I was always even when I was young, I was very sporty. You know what I mean? My little babies, especially with netball, like I'd usually be netball shooter and things like this. Now then, running, rounders, anything like this. Now I was very sporty. I used to love PE at school. You know what I mean? Anyway, of course, I taught myself to swim when I was young. I was about 10. 10, yeah, we used to just walk to the swimming baths. It was really safe. There we are, really safe to go. And I used to love swimming. I still do now, but the thing is, and I used to do a lot of aqua aerobics as well, but the thing is this, my delicious babies, I only have to put my feet, no joke, swear down, I only have to put my feet by a swimming pool, and I end up with a verruca. No joke. This is the truth. Now, what my dad did, and this is what I'm going to be done saying, my delicious babies. I've never said this before, but I am going to say. So, okay. So when you're young, well, you do not know, do you? So you just, anyway, you have a letter from school. This is when I just started senior schools, my delicious babies had a letter from school. And, to take home to your mummies, your daddies and all that now, or your carers or nanas and granddads or aunties, uncles, whoever was looking after her. And I do not mean that disrespectfully. And, you sign it and send it back. Well, I'd already said that I didn't want any injections. I was only about, what was I? Don't know, was I 11, 12? I already said I didn't want any. And I wish, because my beautiful dear little nanny, because by that time, oh, bless my beautiful dear little granddaddy, very sadly passed on. But And may his beautiful dear little soul each and every day, and beautiful dear little Nana Bear each and every day, may they rest in peace. I'm pretty sure that they're not silly sharp down here. Do you know what I mean? Mad little babies anyway. So I already said, but my beautiful dear little Nana Bear, she wanted us to go and live in Hull. And we could be well assured now that she would never have signed anything. 160% she wouldn't have done it. So I end up with 7, these flipping, blooming, they're like little, it's like my arm was a target, mad little babies. Boom, 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 boom. And what did I end up with then? Water on my hands. Prior, when I was first learning to swim and everything, I never once got a verruca, never once got anything. But after having that, jibby jabbed into me. And then I was severely ill. I was really poorly, mad babies, and nobody would get me a doctor. No, I was a bit older than that, actually. I was a bit older. No, got to be probably about 12. I don't know, something around that age anyway. But the point is, I was so poorly, but nobody would get me a doctor. Look at that. It's got to be, the most is 13, it's got to be. It's got to be around that age, 12, 13. It's got to be around that age, okay? It's really hard to remember now, isn't it, Martin? Babies can. But yeah, you know, like usually, because I know it's going to be a bit too much information, Martin, babies, so I don't want to put anybody off their lunch or anything, you know what I mean, or if you're eating. But instead of, if you project, it's loose. This was like flipping mountains. Then, what did I break out in? It's the most severe you've ever seen. All cold sore, all round here, all here, and still nobody got me a doctor. So I had to go to school with a scarf. I just couldn't show anybody, and the pain I was in, and that was after that jibby jab, martish babies. Do you know what I mean? I was in terrible way, and I was like it for about 6 weeks. I was so poorly, it was just very unreal, and yet nobody would get me a doctor to see what was wrong. And I'm convinced to this day, there we are, that it's something that they injected me with. I mean, I've never had nothing since. I mean, I used to suffer with, if I used to get run down, I'd get like the old cold sore and that, do you know what I mean? Okay. But to tell you the truth, I don't suffer really, you know, these days, you know what I mean? I suffer, I'm not going to say it, but I used to suffer a lot here. But I don't suffer now. Do you know what I mean? Mad delicious babies. But that's not the point. The point is that I should never ever have been injected like that. And there were 7. So I'm telling everybody, mad delicious babies, it's absolutely flipping damn rent disgusting. And then for about 3 weeks, I had this terrible crust, you know, like a crust. It was horrible. And the one day somebody flipping knocked it, pushed past me. It was an accident. They did say sorry at school, but I flipped me. The pain I was in was just unreal. And that's supposed to be for our health. Damn rank, man. So this is what I'm saying. So what my belief is, things can come out when you get older. Do you see what I'm saying? That probably doesn't show up then, but for myself, that showed up pretty flipping bloody damn well quickly, and I suffered terribly. Do you see what I mean, my delicious babies? Yes. So sometimes, you know, you could take something and it could lay dormant for years, and then all of a sudden it could just break out. Do you know what I mean, my delicious babies? And that's what I believe is happening. You know, because where are these coming from? You know, where's all these illnesses coming from? I mean, thankfully for myself, and I feel truly, truly, truly blessed, and may it continue, please and thank you. But, you know, but I do not suffer now. Do you understand what I mean? It's like I had that worst like years and years ago. And thankfully, I am very blessed, truly blessed, because none of my beautiful daughters, and I will say this now, they do not suffer with cold sores or things like this. It was only myself, do you know what I mean? Mine's listed babies, okay? But like I said, it's usually when I was run down. But no, that happened not long after I'd had this bloody... And others were suffering as well, really bad. So whatever they injected us with was flipping awful and hideous and disgusting. You know, so this is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? I mean, if you go back to the MMR, I mean, you know, some had had, you know, what I would call a dummy injection. For others, very sadly, they never. And that's where this, well, you know, other things, you know, like begins with an A. Okay, my delicious babies. Okay, it's all right, because I just need to get my video up, that's it. But yeah. But yeah, prior to that, I had nothing wrong with me at all. Apart from, like I say, I had the mumps when I was in junior school, just as I was leaving. That's when I got the mumps. So I was got to be around the 10 and a half mark. Do you know what I mean? Mad delicious babies. Anyway, that's all I've got to say. But no, this doesn't just drop out the sky, does it? Do you know what I mean, Martin? It's like years ago, they used to say, I don't know if it's because we were trying to scare everybody to do with eggs, but they used to say, oh, the eggshells cause warts on your hands. Well, no, it isn't. It's what you've been damn well injected with, isn't it? You know, I handle flipping eggs, you know, whatever o'clock, whatever days a week. Do you know what I mean? But it's after I had that, you know? Do you know what I mean, mad delicious babies? It's even now. This is why, really, I keep away from the swimming pools. It's not out of laziness. No, it isn't. Because like I said, I was a very keen swimmer. There we are. And a very good swimmer at that. Do you know what I mean? And I still am. But you're just afraid to even put your feet on the bloody, you know what I mean? Then end up with bloody verrucas that you cannot bloody damn well get rid of. Do you know what I mean, mad delicious babies? And that's all I've got to say. So please, you know, all I'm giving is food for thought, food for thought. That's all I'm doing, mad delicious babies. But yeah, because they tell you that all of these things are good. Well, clearly, bloody well isn't, is it, mad delicious babies? Anyway, so that's that. Anyway, well, thankfully, I do not suffer anymore. That's been years and years and years and years and years. Do you know what I mean, mad delicious babies? But... so saying that, I had my flipping fair share, let me tell you. You know what I mean? But I was never a sickly, and may it continue forever. Please and thank you. But I was never sickly, even now to this day. It's very rare, and I feel truly blessed to ever get ill, to get poorly, ever. I feel very blessed. I mean, sometimes it's like I'm detoxing, you know, like I'd probably blow my nose a bit more, but I'm convinced, you know, but I've never had allergies either. I've never ever suffered with allergies either. So there's clearly something, because I found myself blowing my nose, flipping sneezing, bloody, do you know what I mean? Okay? Anyway, not to worry, you know. It soon passes, you know what I mean? My delicious babies, there's no reason for me to go to your not so friendly quack quacks, you know what I mean? I can usually deal with it myself. Like shortly, I've just had a onion omelette, okay, my delicious babies, and then I'm going to have, which is already cut up, a yellow grapefruit. So I don't put sugar or anything on it. I just eat it raw like that. Okay, my delicious babies, it's excellent just to clear out your system. I know it's too much information, but both ends basically, it's very good. Do you know what I mean? There we are, to clear it out. You see what I mean? My delicious little babies. So that's why I like to have my grapefruits. Okay, my delicious babies, okay? So that's all I want to say, my delicious babies. Of course, nobody ever knows what I'm going to talk about. Half time I do not know. But no, I wanted to mention it. But even though nobody would get me any help, there we are. I did get better. And how did I get better? I just ate, you know, different foods and everything, drank plenty of water. There we are. And then I soon got better, and milk. But these days, you cannot trust most milk either. You know, you just, it's in, there we are, everything Mardelistic babies, from the fruit to the vegetables to the meat to the fish. It's everywhere, Mardelistic babies, you know what I mean? It's like they're flipping hitting you from all the flipping angles, do you know what I mean? Mardelistic babies, boom, 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 boom. You see what I'm saying, Mardelistic babies, okay? And anything that what they're saying is organic, come on, come on. How organic, truly, are things, Mardelistic babies? Because I beg to differ when ones want to chat about this now then. You know what I mean, Mardelistic babies? It's like it's really hard to avoid everything when all that really you and I ever really want is clean food, clean water, that's it, simple things, clean land, clean up above us, so below. That's all that we're asking for, isn't it? We're not asking for the crown jewels. We're just asking to have goodness that we are put into our bodies, that's it. Simple things. And what do we get in return? Damn well poison, man. That's what we get, poisoned on a daily basis. Soap isn't what soap used to be. Shower gel isn't what shower gel used to be. Nothing is what it used to be. And especially if you talk to the older generation who are like 80 and 90, they'll tell you. I spoke to a dear elderly gentleman who I know, bless him, not in that way, not in that way. And he was telling me, he mentioned it, he said the pork, you know, for anybody who is a meat eater, for pork, he said, that doesn't taste the same. He doesn't buy it. He said the beef doesn't taste the same. But of course he can say that because he's over 80, just over 80. But my beautiful, oh, how I love her so, my beautiful dear little nanny and granddad, you know, my beautiful dear little Nana Bear used to say it. The chicken's not the same, the beef's not the same, the pork's not the same, the lamb's not the same. You just said everything is just not the same. I mean, you know, bless the beautiful dear little animals, but do you know what I mean? So come on, the elderly cannot be wrong now, and this is why, Mardelistic babies, why we know who, and the little lackeys, want to especially, so sad, but to erase, very sadly, our elderly generation, Mardelistic babies, because they know. There we are. This is a reason why, because they know, you see. Do you see what I'm saying? Okay, so they want everybody to forget. Do you see what I mean? What these little effers have done? Do you see what I'm saying, Mardelistic babies, Kai? And I've never known so many with health problems now. And of course, you know, I don't like to use this word, but mental illness, mental health, these words, you know what I mean? Well, of course, it must be affecting for some, not meaning that nastily, but it could be the chemicals that are causing problems as well, Mardelistic babies. So not only with your inner, but your mind as well, your noddle, Mardelistic babies. I just look at everything anyway. But do you know what I mean? I mean, to get decent spuds these days, just to get everything, it's just a flipping nightmare, man. You know, I mean, I'm trying my best now because I planted now. Anyway, I'm not going to say too much in case somebody comes along and F's it all up. You know what I mean? To grow things, you see what I mean? Mardelistic babies, you know what I mean? But you just got to try, haven't you? But even to get decent compost, decent anything, it's like a flipping mission in itself, isn't it, Mardelistic babies? I'm not saying it's impossible, but, you know, it's just so hard to get now. You know, I remember the days, you know, when you could smell the manure, you could smell everything. These days, nothing. Anyway, Mardelistic babies, thank you so very much for any views, for any likes, for the occasional comments. I know it sounds like I've just gone on and on and on, but no. Not when you've been poisoned and from every flipping damn angle. Do you know what I mean, Mardelistic babies? Yes? I mean, this is just not on, is it? Mardelistic babies, this has been going on a long time, as we very well know. Anyway, so whether it's morning, afternoon or evening, please have a super duper delicious time. You only get one life, my little honey bunnies, sending peace, love, harmony and bright blessings to each and every one of you. May your beautiful little selves, your beautiful little families, may you all be fully protected, and how I love you so. You are wonderful, beautiful, delicious. I love you. Okay, so until next week. Oh, one last thing I want to say before I before I trap. Yeah, so this hyping system on YouTube, Mardelistic babies, which you're only allowed, by the way, 3 harps a week. So I only hype. There's only probably a few who are hype. Okay, I'm delicious babies can. So I like to share it out. But how can it be that one you can only harp 100 points, and then somebody else you can harp 430, and another one you can harp 950? So what is all that about? Why can't you hype everybody the same? Oh, and something else, my delicious baby. So that's a question for you, YouTube. Why can't everybody, why can't I, for my favourites, why can I not hype everybody the same? And why can we not have more than 3 harps a week? This is a question that I'm asking YouTube. I'm not going to say please and thank you until you've done that. I'm not going to say please and thank you, YouTube. Okay? And once you've done it, well, yes, of course, I will say please and thank you. Do you know what I mean? But until then, not. Okay? And finally, what I want to say. So I'm subscribed to, and of course, this dear uploader subscribed to myself. Okay? Not in that way, not in that way. Now, there were 2 videos. One was to do with, who was it, Tesla, and something else. Anyway, I advertised in Prince Car Nanji, okay? Because he does do some good videos, bless. Usually not long ones. And but the second one was to do with, what's her name? Gwyneth Paltrow. Because he covers all these different types of videos. Anyway, it was asking for my age. It said, we'll send you an email, so that, you can. So I put not now. So what happened? So I cannot see. It doesn't matter how many times I had to just, I'm so sorry, Prince Karanji, but no, it just wouldn't let me do it. Can you see what I mean, Martin? Okay? So what is it that dear, not in that way, dear Prince Karanji, who's subscribed to myself and I'm subscribed to himself, bless him, right? So what is it about that particular video to have an age verification? I mean, come on, I'm effing 52, man, isn't it? Do I look like my delicious babies like I need age verification? Flipping damn rink, man. I've just seen a little silver spark, man. Okay, my delicious babies, mind you. I had a little bit of a dream about my beautiful, how I love so my beautiful little mammy bear, my mum, the early hours of this morning. So it's a warning for something. Not, do you know what I mean? She's just warning me about something. Sometimes I get it from my beautiful Nana and Grandad. Sometimes I get it, from my beautiful dear friends, and the families that, who have passed. Sometimes come to me with it's just to warn me about something, do you know what I mean? Mad delicious babies can, not like to harm me or anything, but it's warning me. They're warning me, sorrow. And how I love them also, okay? Anyway, my delicious babies, so that's my video for today. I know I've gone on a bit anyway. It shouldn't have been that long, but anyway, I feel I got everything off my chest for today. I'd just like to see more harps. I don't think 3 is enough. Because I can only spread them out between a few. So it's not very fair, is it? If one's getting more points than another, everybody should get the same points. Points make prizes. Okay, my delicious babies, do you remember that? Points make prizes. Anyway, my delicious babies, so until the next video, you just take care now. Have I love you so. We've ended on a pleasant note. Okay, my delicious babies, so I've had my moan and that's it. I feel deliciously happy now. Okay, love you, take care. Thank you once again for listening. Look after now. Look after yourselves and please try to take care of others, okay? Because we are in bonkers crackers. Crazy world. Love you. Goodbye.